Hi, Trina Wright here with day 26 of 365 days of realizations. So here I am outside again, and it's been a rainy day, but the sun is peeking out. And there's something about those days that seem magical, where it's sort of kind of cloudy up in the sky, but the rays of sun are coming down. And it's one of those times that just calls us to remember that Source is always shining on us. God is always with us, always and already right here, just like the sun is always and already shining. I mean, it never stops. It's not some giant light bulb that we turn off. It never, ever stops. And even when it appears to set, we know darn well that it's going to be back in the morning and that it's still glowing over a massive part of this planet. So in the same way, we can always remember that our inner being has us. Our inner being is right there with us. Our inner being is shining upon us. And also we can remember that for everyone else, that there is that spark of God that is in everyone. The spark of Source, the spark of joy, the spark of love, the spark of divinity. And at today's Sunday service at Ananda, that was touched on a little bit, that everything that appears is that energy. It's that God, Source, Creator, infinite energy of divinity, energy of infinity. Doesn't matter what it is when it arises. And imagine if we could meet every single circumstance, every single appearance with that understanding, with that clarity, just how much difference that would make. And so it's a little invitation that I'm going to play with, because right in the middle of this teaching for me, there was a little bit of strain with my 12-year-old. And there she comes after I had heard about this, just showing her delightful self. And the call was, in spite of the fact that we'd had some things that I would say annoying about how she was showing up and presenting and her behavior. And even though I know that I'm creating it, and even though I know that she's just sort of following that script, I still sometimes find it hard to remember that she's God and that she is here to serve me, and that she's here to serve me in the sense of calling me to a deeper place in myself, just as I am that for many, many other people that I meet. But what's interesting is, we can get really caught up in this idea of everything's an illusion and nothing's real and everything's my creation and I'm just awareness, and in awareness I'm just seeing everything, and whoop, I'm off and into infinity and nothing matters and nothing has meaning. And I get all that from an enlightenment standpoint. It's beautiful. It's really taking us to our truth and really helping to ground us in the conviction that we're more than this body, that I don't need to be identified with it, that I'm not only Trina, that I'm not even Trina. And yet at the same time, I have my physical feet on the ground, and I am engaging with many other people on a day-to-day basis, just within my own home. Then as I go out into my extended family, even more. And so I want to be embracing of that. I want to say, you know what, those appearances, those beings are here playing with me for a reason, to help me know myself, to help me master this environment, to master this illusion full on, because that's why I came to be in this physical environment, to take those appearances and then decide what to do in response to it, and to have the key concept, the key intention in every moment be, oh, that's a gift from God. That's a gift from my higher self. What does it have to show me? What is it trying to tell me? How can I be so empty, so present, so open in that moment? And by empty, I mean empty of self-judgment, empty of judgment. Just receive it. And if something does arise, what is the thing trying to tell me that's arising? And whether it's an emotion, whether it's a thought, whether it's some kind of belief, how is it serving me in that moment? And so this is the game that I'm going to play with myself, largely probably with my daughter today, because it's what is being presented in front of me. And the tendency is so strong within all of us. I know it's still within me, to try to manage that, to try to tell her how to be different, or, set limits and do something in the illusion, do something like in the physicality of things to make it different, because I don't like it and I don't like how it feels. And yet what I feel like I'm being called to is, how can I love it anyway? how can I accept it anyway? Not only accept it, like accept it that it's here and it's arisen, but accept that I created it, accept that I am part of this dance of creation, and so is she, and accept that ultimately she is being an expression of God, the very expression of God that I asked her to be, to remind me that I'm God. And so how can I just, every time I see her, look her in the eye and say, oh yeah, that's right. There's God playing behind those eyes. There's God interacting in this. And how could I question that my higher self, that source, that God, that the infinite one knows exactly what's going to take me to whatever it is that I need to go to. I so often find that I am in this space where I just want to sort of say, you know what, I'm already there, and which is awesome and beautiful. But at the same point, when I say I'm already there, am I negating the reality, which there is no reality, but am I negating the visceral experience of being here with my feet on the ground and of noticing the things that are being called forth to work on, to empty and to move through. And so I want to be able to be both. I want to be able to be like, I'm full on awareness and I can attune with infinity. And I'm also somewhat playing as this character, and I'm doing it so that I can learn more things about what does it mean to play a character in this game. What are the rules of this game? How do I learn from them? How do I play with them? How do I step in, like we've been talking about for the last couple days? How do I step into that full-on clarity and knowing that I am infinite, that I am from infinity, that I'm a shard of that, and so is everyone else that I see? It changes everything. But part of why I came is so that I could have that as a visceral understanding and learning. So I'm going to go play in that experience. I'm going to dance around in it, and I'm going to be filled with self-love and kindness and no judgment for both myself and her, and anyone else I meet on this amazing, beautiful day. It's Grammy Day, which I guess has some meaning, especially for my 16-year-old, because she loves Ariana Grande and she's going to be singing. So I will also be seeing God in all of them. And so what a call to myself, because it's one thing to be able to sit in quiet and silence and all off in a corner somewhere and just really be like, oh, it's all great. I'm in awareness. I'm in infinity. I'm God. But then when you step your feet back on the path and you're really in the physical, and delusion and Maya is pulling at you, can you still appreciate it all? Can you just laugh at it and see it all as the illusion it is and say, what is this calling me to? What is this inviting me to? Is it just for the giggles? Is it just to say, chill out, take it easy because nothing serious is going on here? Is it really to say, hey, you're triggered by how skinny and beautiful that one is. So what is that telling you about your own self, and what judgment have you placed on yourself that you might want to let go of? Or is it calling you to say, you know what, maybe the thoughts you have about what it means to be a mother to someone needs to be questioned, needs to be deconstructed. And so all of those things are just inviting us to more and more and more. So I'm inviting you to the more and more and more that you are calling yourself to. Tune in, listen, see every opportunity on this path as that invitation, as that call to say, you know what, I liked that, I didn't like that. Why is that? Why does one thing seem like it's resonant and one thing seem like it's not? Maybe it's just isn't, and maybe it's just telling you go that way, don't go this way. But be cautious, because we have a tendency when it feels slightly off to just move away from it without really diving in. And we have a tendency when it feels really good to just go forth without diving in. But what aspect of you is finding it good or bad? And what would it mean if you didn't do that? And what does it mean if it happens anyway? And so just all those layers. Dive into it in whatever way feels great to you. And I'm going to continue my rain walk, feeling like every drop of rain is source, and the sun trying to peek through is source, and God just loving me up and reminding me that I am so much more. And so in that place, in that knowing that I'm so much more, then it's easy to engage in the delusion, engage in all the stuff that's here to teach me and not get stuck in it. That's my plan for the day. So have a fabulous Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow.